A very good afternoon. This is Alok Srivastav and I'm back from my hibernate mode or suspend mode or halt mode or whatever mode you can say. You are free to choose the mode you wish to label me on. But yes, I was suspended in my activities or hibernated for so long, I think approximately 2 months. So I welcome you all of us on our YouTube channel. So let's start the things, and today, as the RHEL7 is here, and we are already started with the RHCE training on RHEL7, and the product is amazing, couple of very new features. Let me start with a very small thing. I want to show you a couple of things. Let me write down here to break the root password. It's very easy stuff, I know. Then let's understand about different your halt modes, or say shutdown modes, not shutdown mode. And let us try to create a swap file. Slightly different. I have chosen these topics explicitly because they are slightly different from what we used to do in RHEL6. So let's present a scenario here that is like, suppose I forgot my root password, so means I cannot go beyond this. I'm stupid, I cannot go beyond this. I forgot the root password. So what need to be done to change the root password? First thing is that you need to power off the machine, right? So as I'm logged in as a local user, I can use either the activities here, or I will try to shut down the machine, or I can just go here and just try to do a power off. Just a moment please. Yeah, makes sense. So first thing is that if you forget the root password, or somebody had changed the root password and you want to break the root password, so you need the physical access on the machine, obviously. So you do a reboot here and just select the restart. Just a moment, you can see a couple of photos there and all the things, just ignore it. Now here I can put it here, nothing to hide, but just that makes sense. Let me increase it. That's it. So as if you remember in RHEL6 we used to press E here, so I'm pressing the E here as it is mentioned here very clearly. Press E to the selected items. It's same up till here. Go down to here, you will see the kernel line, same VM Linux. Go to the bottom, I press the end key, press space, the right here, very simple, no init 1, no 1, you cannot write 1, there are no run levels as such now. So I just write here rd.break, and because the SE Linux is in a very good mode, so or it is in enforcing mode, and the password you will not be allowed to or to be able to change the password unless and until you disable the SE Linux temporarily, or so couple of persons, they do it like this, enforcing is equal to 0. That is perfectly acceptable, no doubt about that, but I prefer, because when I do enforcing 0 I need to relabel the whole file system again. That takes my time and I'm lazy, I'm really lazy. So I better write here SE Linux 0. That means I want to start the machine with SE Linux off. It's better than enforcing 0. I'll tell you why. Now if you see there, I need to press Ctrl X, no B here. So I press Ctrl X here, the machine will boot. Here I am. Now still you cannot give the password command. See, I just press the pass and I'm pressing the tab, it's not working. You need to mount the file system because it's not mount for the writes. So mount -o, remount, read write, and sysroot, your system root. Things are changed here, it is changed. Earlier we need not to do this. That's great. Then move on to this new location, chroot, sysroot. If you remember, you used to give the command chroot when you were doing the rescue mode in your RHEL6, but even the password breaking in RHEL7 requires the chroot to a different file system. Move there, the shell will change. Now here if you see this shell, Give the password command. Here it is working. Wow, I think I still remember a couple of things. Wow, that's great. So I press enter here, give the new root password, RHELSE, my simple password, Red Hat. Job done. I'll get a message, all authentication tokens updated successfully. Do exit 2 times, the machine will reboot. And now I think I will be able, if everything is going on fine, I should be able to log in with root with the new password. So here I am, my RHCE user. I press enter here, I give the password. Okay, so here it is, Saturday 15:42. Actually it's like a pre-Diwali kind of mood. I'm actually, to be honest, I never like hide my feelings with all of you, all of you there. I'm not in a mood to work, but then I think, oh my god, it is 2 months and you hadn't uploaded any videos. Alok, this is really bad. Wow, honest confession. Okay, jokes apart, now open this, increase the font size, not required, not mandatory. I just do it for you. Oh, need not to say thanks, please. Okay, now I can go to root su and I give the password. That's fair enough. So here I'll just shown you how to break the root password. Now let us understand different modes. Before I show you different modes, how to different modes to, or the different methods to stop the machines, like earlier in RHEL6 we have got commands like init 0, init 6, reboot. If you remember, halt, those commands are still there, but they are not recommended. If you are truly working on RHEL7, then you must be learning the new commands. Like I'll tell you, for halt, the command now is systemctl halt. I'm not going to press enter, right? This is the new command, systemctl halt. And if you give here the option -- no wall, then no message will be given to any user who is connected, like this -- no wall halt. So halt will, as you know, the halt, the machine shut down the operations. Okay, earlier we used to have a command power off. Now we have got systemctl power off. Remember this, it is like your power off in RHEL7, sorry 6, power off of RHEL6. Again, I'm not going to press enter. I can press Ctrl C. We have reboot command, right? Earlier we just used to give reboot. Reboot still works, even your init 6 works, but don't do it. Try using the new command, change. So I can give power systemctl reboot to reboot the machine. Okay, let me finish it and press Ctrl C, the best command, shack. That's great. To suspend, I can give systemctl suspend. So it will suspend the state of the machine. For hibernate, I can give systemctl hibernate. I'm pressing Ctrl C. So it is how you do the things. Okay. One thing, what is the difference between suspend and hibernate? I don't know. To me, it seems same. Anybody. What is the difference between suspend and hibernate? Okay, I know you cannot answer here. I'm stupid as usual. So I'm just maintaining my status there. I have, like earlier also, I used to ask stupid questions, and still I'm asking stupid questions. So it is very difficult to maintain your status. So I know I can do it. Okay, fine, move ahead. I'm in a really good mood. So like talking to you after 2 months. Okay, let me write down here the difference between suspend and hibernate. You should understand this very clearly on a serious note. Let me open gedit or something if I've got some editor here available here, or I can just write in the VI documents. Let me check. I don't have it. Let me close this. Just wait. The problem with okay, let me write here. So remember, when you give systemctl, it's a very interesting difference. Suspend. So what happens? I'm just pressing Ctrl C here. What happens actually the machine saves the system state in the RAM. Okay, let me write here with the cat command. Cat system ctl suspend. I'm putting hyphen here. So what it does, this command, the command systemctl suspend, it will save the system data in the RAM. Yes, you have heard it right, in the RAM. And when you, and it powers off, and it then power off all the devices, nearly all the devices. Now when you turn the machine on, you know the machine state is saved in RAM. As the machine state is saved in RAM, the booting is very fast. The restoring of the machine is very fast, as it is restoring it from the RAM, not from the hard disk. So restoring of the machine is very fast, as it is restoring the system state from RAM, not from hard disk. Hard disk, as you know, is slower, right? And it is much faster than hibernate, to be honest. Much faster process than systemctl hibernate. But there is a condition. Because the system state is saved in RAM, but because the system state is saved in RAM, the machine needs continual power. Machine needs continuous power supply and is vulnerable to power outage. So if your power goes off, the power is not being supplied to the RAM, you will lose the state. That is what the systemctl suspend do. It saved the state of the machine in the RAM, whereas hibernate, you got it right, hibernate save it in the hard disk. So let me write that also. So what does your cat systemctl hibernate? Actually it's space. The command systemctl hibernate, what it does, it saves the system data, system state on the hard disk, because it is, and it then power off the machine, and it then power off the machine. Now as you have understood it very clearly, because the machine state is saved in the hard disk, because the machine state is saved in the hard disk, you don't need continual power supply. And one thing is that because it is saved in the hard disk, when you tries to restore the machine, it will take more time as compared to suspend, because it is now restoring everything from the hard disk, as it is restoring system state from hard disk. But there is a advantage or a safe side also, because it is saved in the hard disk. Now because the system state is saved in the hard disk, you are not vulnerable to power supply. or outage. You're not outage, right? So that is the major difference between your hibernate and the suspend. So you should remember this thing. What is the difference between us hibernate, your systemctl suspend, and systemctl hibernate? So you've got a couple of options here, couple of commands to, you should be learning the new things. And one more very interesting thing that I have found, if you know swap files and you know swap partitions and you know what the swapping and actually the paging is all about. So right now I'm using my disk partition as a swap. So if I want to use a file as a swap, so what I need to do, I first need to create a swap file. Say I create dd dev 0, I'm just pushing some zeros in the file and I'm storing it in my. Before you start creating the swap file, first thing that I will recommend is please check where you've got the space. Please check where you have got space. So I've got maximum space on root or slash, then I've got 1.9 GB is available on my home. So you should be creating the swap file on the partition where you've got space. But there is a second condition also. You should be placing the swap file on the partition or on the file system which will be getting maximum of IOs. That means if my machine is acting as a FTP server, so obviously I should have var mounted separately. You know the earlier videos. So var is constantly be getting maximum attention from the your CPU, because most of the activity will be happening on the var. So you should place your swap file under var, because if you place your swap file under not in var and somewhere else, so the hard disk need to move from var to some other location. So seek time is involved there. So as a rule of thumb, always remember, please, and third time please also, so keep your swap file on the file system which you think will be getting maximum IO. So in this case, let us because I don't have this machine is not acting as the production server, so I will be keeping my swap file under /home. I've got 1.9 GB of space free, which is more than enough. So I'm just creating a 200 MB of swap file. So the command will be dev 0, it is same, of is equal to, say I'm logged in as root. So if I put it under root, okay, let me put it under root. I've got some 11 GB of space there. So I put it in my home directory, which is actually not the right place to put the swap file, but just for the sake of the practical I'm doing it. Say I say my swap file, anything, base sector 1 MB and count 200. That means I'm creating a file of 200 MB in this location. Swap in, swap out. So if I do a LL here, you will find this file, my swap file. Wow, that's great. I should remember the commands. Now I need to format it. So mkswap, same command works here. I'm very happy to see the same commands. My swap file, it sets the UUID, it formats it. Now I need to activate it. So I give here swap on my swap file, or I can give the path my swap file. That's it. Look, this is a new thing. It tells me that the permissions are 644, which is not secure. This was not in RHEL 6. So it recommends you automatically, the machine is so intelligent that please change the permission to 600. Let me do it, because I am a very honest to my machine. So you need to give 600 my swap file. That makes sense. Now if you give a swap on -s, you will see there that this file is being mounted. Wow, that's great. So that means you have got two locations acting as swap. One is dev sda2 and then root my swap file. But there is a catch. The catch is that because it is a file, it is not a partition, you cannot put up an entry in fs tab to make it permanent. So what will happen like after the reboot? If I do this command systemctl reboot, right now you can see this is available here. So if I do a systemctl reboot, the actual command of RHEL7, wow, that's great. Let's do a reboot here and wait for the machine. Just waited, VirtualBox, nice and clear, and I start the machine once again. I will increase it. So my common sense says, because that was a file and I had mounted it temporarily, it should not be available after the reboot. So means you will lose your swap file as soon as your machine reboots or your server get reboots. How to make it permanent? Let us see. Remember, it is a file, so it's not a file system, so you cannot make up entry in your FS tab. Hope the machine will boot clean. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's coming up. Look, because if you remember, I had done the SC Linux 0, so after the reboot it is here. If you see there, it is relabeling the entire file system. That is great. It will take its time. So generally it is recommended when you break the root password and you write SC Linux 0 or enforcing 0, do a touch.auto relabel if you are using enforcing 0, and if you have used SC Linux 0, what I had used, simply reboot the machine. Need not to give touch SC Linux touch auto relabel. Perfect. Sounds good to me so far. I have too much of clutter there on my desktop. I log in again. So let us check. Yes, let me open the terminal. Check. I'm just using this as the background music, not my system music. I go to the root, give Red Hat as the password. If I give again swap on -s, it's gone. So how to make this permanent? The file is still there. The file is still there. So the best way or the easiest way is to put up an entry in etc rc.d rc.local, right? And so I just need to write here swap on /root my swap file. And can you see this? You must run this command to make sure that the script will be executed during the boot. So please make sure you do it. So I just copy this. The best way is the copy and paste way. Copy this, save this, give this command, job done. Now if I do a swap on -s, as I hadn't activated it for this current session, let me do a reboot and anticipate that the swap will be available after the reboot. So I do a systemctl reboot, increase the width so that these things are not visible to you. This is not confidential, just I find it awkward and I'm lazy to remove it. Let me bring it once back in the frame. Wow, the machine boots fast because the labeling was already completed. Now I should be getting that file system. I should be getting that swap file once again. So let me open the machine. And though it's not required the root, but I will just give it just for the sake of lab or the best practice. Wow, that's great. It's available. It's available. Wow, this is great. It is like sometimes I've got a habit of speaking in a fake accent or a like funny accent. I speak in Russian and sometimes like I try to speak in German, though I don't know the Germany or the German language. So if I will be speaking in Russian there, so I should be speaking something like this. Please don't feel offended, like anybody from Russia. It's actually you can say a tribute. Oh, this is very good. This is swap on -s and I got the news root my swap file. It is available. Wow, that is great. So every time you create a swap file and you want it that it should be available there, you should be doing it like this. Okay, fine. Enough of the fun, because as I'm meeting you after 2 months, I'm very happy. Wow, I'm back. So this is for this video, and I'll be like promising you to be more frequent. And I hope you like these small tips and tricks, and thank you very much, and see you again soon very much. I'm stopping the video now. Thank you.